Hey, what's up, everyone? Sovereign and Supreme here. For the life of me, I cannot figure out why I can't tag more than 10 friends right now. I would preferably like to tag at least 50 or up to 99 people, but hey, persistence is key, right? If I were to give up, I wouldn't be here making this video right now. So the purpose of this video is to encourage you to never give up regardless of how hard life gets, because believe it or not, that is how success comes in every area of your life. When you are able to just keep going, when you have that willingness to believe in yourself, when you have that willingness to believe that you can do anything, everything you put your mind, body, and spirit to, that is how you self actualize into your greatest version. Excuse me. Because not only are you taking a chance on yourself, but you are investing in said self. You are investing in your higher self by not abandoning you. People can abandon you. Ideas can abandon you. Events can abandon you. Circumstances can abandon you. Happenings can abandon you. Life itself can abandon you. But you are not abandoned unless you abandon yourself. It comes to everything in life. It all begins with you. It's one thing to have drive. It's one thing to have motivation. It's one thing to have purposeful legacy. But it's another thing for this to originate from you. As a matter of fact, I like to say that within precedes around, inside precedes outside, internal precedes external. What this means is that you have to have a reason to want to keep going, to keep fighting, to keep learning. And the special thing about life is that you never stop being a learner. You can stop losing, so to speak. You can stop winning, so to speak. But the truth is, you're an eternal student. And more importantly, life is less about learning and more about experiencing. And don't get me wrong, learning is very important, but experiencing is even more important, because life is about what catalyzes your growth, development, maturity, right? So, not everything needs to be processed further. Some things make the most sense when they're in a rawest form. When you're able to absorb the message of what you're going through without having to add a filter onto it. I'll give you an example. Sometimes the best pictures are the ones that are natural, the ones that are in the moment, present. You get this sensational vibe from it. You're not adding any color to it. You know how people post selfies on Instagram? Some of them look the best when you're not adding color to it, when you're not adding an edge to it, when you're not adding an artificial layer to the pictures. You're just letting your pictures be as they are. And one attribute of being persistent is just accepting things where they are, realizing where they are, and identifying how to go from there to improve. Now, the original title of my video was going to be "You Are All That You Seek." One of the things that you seek that you don't realize that you are is persistence. And resilience is everything when you think about it. When you are able to just keep going and forge your own path, that's how you know that you're on to something. That's how you know that you have what it takes to not only survive, but to thrive. Everything in your life is meant to make you a stronger, better, and greater version of yourself. But it won't feel that way until you change your perspective on life. If you keep asking yourself, why is this happening to me? You may not get the silver lining. But if you change your thought process and say, why is this happening for me? Or rather, why not let this happen to me? Why not let this happen for me? That's when you're able to produce better results in your life because you are focusing on a bright side, and whatever you focus on grows. If you focus on the positive, all that's working on your life and how much you have improved, that is what you're going to get. You're going to continue to get positive, new and improved, focused results that really enrich your being. And I would also like to articulate the fact that you are worth it. Everything in your life is a blessing, regardless if it's in disguise or if it's obvious. The fact that you are alive and well, it's a blessing. If you did not have a special, divine, unique purpose, you would not be incarnating in physical form at this very moment. You would not happen to watch this video, so to speak. But if you want to know the reason why most people fail, not only at their endeavors, but in life, it is because they not only give up, but they give up on themselves. And that's the most crucial lesson to learn tonight. Or wherever you are in this world, time is an illusion, right? When you believe in yourself, when you invest in yourself, when you do things to make yourself greater, sorry about that, that's the salad. That is when you can say that you are adding fuel to the fire, so to speak, concerning persistence. But the good news is, this is one of the few situations where you need more fuel to the fire. You need that inner flame, that spark to get you going, because persistence is the key to success in all attributes of your being. It's the key to being proud of how far you've come, because versus laying down and dying, you kept going, you kept fighting, you kept learning, and you didn't become a prisoner to the experience. You didn't let the victim mentality entrap you, but instead, you allowed all that is freedom, peace, joy, love, enlightenment, bliss, and harmony. You allowed those frequencies to guide you. And no matter where you are in life, what matters most is your mindset. Because if your thoughts are positive, your feelings are going to be positive, your actions are going to be positive, and you are going to be positive. But it all starts with your internal dialogue. So if your self-affirmations are negative, or if you're focusing on something that didn't work, try to focus on the positive by reiterating what did work, or what you are learning, or how are you improving. Instead of saying today was a horrible day, say tomorrow is going to be an even better day, and I learned so much about how to be a new and improved individual. Today was an invaluable day that taught me the value of self-control, or the value of exploring different cultures, or the value in just enjoying life. Life doesn't always require you to be active, but I think we can all agree that being present in the moment is beyond words. It's very powerful. I mean, the power of now is something that meditation is all about when you think about it. Even your subconscious mind knows that the power is in the power is in the present moment. Regardless if it is 5 years from now or 5 years ago, it's as if it's already happened. And this is why I say that time is non existent. Sorry if you can hear that. This is why I say time is non existent, because it's not really linear. It is quite multidimensional and it's very flexible. Neither time nor space are existent because they are human constructs. But unlike the human constructs known as time and space, persistence is timeless and it only grows with you. It's ageless, rather. Persistence doesn't necessarily age, but persistence grows, it develops, it matures, it can be cultivated. And if there has ever been a time when you've given up on yourself, that's okay. Feeling shame is okay. It's okay to not be okay. But what I will say is shame by itself will profit you none. So, you know how Mary Curie says life is everything to understand but nothing to fear? Same thing applies to shame and enlightenment. There's nothing to feel shame about, but everything to feel and be enlightened about. Enlightenment is the highest frequency there is, whereas shame resonates with a personal vibration of frequency of 20. Enlightenment resonates with a personal frequency of 700 and higher. And I would like to encourage you to grow and evolve spiritually and otherwise, because we are all on a journey to reach spiritual enlightenment. And spiritual enlightenment isn't just spiritual. Spiritual enlightenment applies to all attributes of your being. And if you have ever seen angel numbers, they are a prime inspiration for persisting and, going after your dreams, whether it's a business, whether it's love, whether it's wealth, whether it's abundance, whether it's friendship, no matter what it is. The divine realm is always communicating with us, so to speak. According to this train of logic, you are the universe. But because you are the physical incarnation of the universe, the non-physical incarnations of the universe are all around you. They're within you. I even believe that there's a God within you and there's a God around you, and that we're all just an expression of divine energy. Energy is never created nor destroyed, but only transferred from one state to the next. The same thing applies to persistence. You just have to keep going. You didn't just automatically create persistence. You didn't just automatically destroy it. Persistence is an energy. But I like to tell you a secret about persistence. And it is kind of a cliche, but it goes deeper than what I'm about to say. That rhymes. There's a rhyme of reason to this. There's levels to this. You know what I'm about to say. My point is that you have to work smarter, not harder. I mean, it's one thing to be persistent and to keep going and to make progress, but it's another thing to just be single-minded to the point where you're actually being counterproductive. It's important to learn always, to be an eternal student. That makes you a universal scholar because you're absorbing information, you're filtering out what isn't necessary, and you're focusing on what can help you expand. This is why I love the planet Jupiter. The ideal of expansion, wealth, abundance, joy. There are no limits to the planet Jupiter, especially when you look at it through an astrological lens. So, when it comes to persistence, it's a matter of refining and cultivating and enhancing all that is the willingness to continue to be your greatest version. Persistence is not exactly just continuing, it is a state of awareness, it is a state of willingness. It is investing in yourself. And while it's convenient to just go after short term goals, it's convenient to go after instant gratification. What's more important is to have your eye on the prize. Even if you are a few miles away from the finish line, just know that every single day you are closer to finishing. You are closer to breaking that tape, and you are closer to being a victor. That is what persistence is all about. It is allowing yourself to fall down. It's allowing yourself to cry. It's allowing yourself to be vulnerable, open, and naked. But it's the willingness to pick yourself back up and to get your head back in the game. And more importantly, it's not just getting your head back in the game, but it's being the game. It's transcending the game. It's by understanding the game from the inside out to become something even better. Persistence is the prelude to radical transformation. And just FYI, if you are abiding by Central Standard Time, it is 8:52. That is an angel number of radical transformation, huge growth and development, and it is an ongoing learning process. So you get 13, 15, that equals 6. 852 reduces to the root number 6, as far as I am concerned. Yes, it does. So that is family, that is home life, that is domestic life, it's love, it's connection, it's focusing on the people closest to you, it's following your heart. Persistence is deeply shrouded in a chasm of your heart and your intuition. I'm not saying it to sound bleak. I'm saying that persistence is a lot like an eagle. You're not trying to just be the mountain. You're not trying to just be the mountaintop. It's to experience. It's realizing that the only direction you can truly go in is up. Physical incarnation, in so many words, is as low as you can go. And we typically think that, hitting rock bottom is as low as you can go. But since when has improvement been a straight line to success? You're going to have some ups and downs, but what matters is that slowly but surely you're rising. And like the air, you shall rise. And you are air. You are the air that you breathe. And I like to say that you are all that you seek. Everything that you want, you are. If you feel like you don't have it, if you don't see it, it's just a lesson for you to learn. It's a lesson of saying, I am all that I seek. I just have to go back to my roots, my rich, abundant, wealthy, happy, and prosperous roots. That's exactly what you have to do. So if you want love, you have to resonate with the personal frequency, the personal vibration of 500. You have to be love. You have to feel love. You have to think love. You have to do things that remind you of how much you embody love. So that's listening to positive music, being around positive people, singing, dancing, drawing, meditating, getting out in nature, absorbing the sun, and doing everything that makes you feel like the vibrational frequency of love. Hey, drinking water, at least 8 ounces a day. That's also persistence. You are investing in being a better version of yourself. And that is ultimately one of the highest forms of self-love. We think of persistence, but self-persistence is a whole nother level of love, commitment, and dedication. And I'll be the first to admit that we've been indoctrinated by society to believe that success is just monetary. Monetary success is awesome. You will hear me say that money is the root of all greatness. I don't care if that goes against someone's personal beliefs. Well, I don't mean to offend anyone, but my point is, monetary success is very important, it's very legitimate, and it's very helpful. It's an expression of how you feel on the inside. But it's an including but not limited to situation. After all, you are a limitless, divine, powerful, and infinite being. That is something you have to keep in mind. But when it comes to persistence, true persistence is not pulling away from your thumbs or pulling away from your fingers. You know, the Chinese finger grip? We all have it. It's called self-sabotage. And it's so funny how we think that, someone is trying to sabotage our lives. And if that is the case, it's oftentimes a reflection of how much we sabotage ourselves. I'll repeat, when we think that someone is trying to sabotage us, it's oftentimes a reflection of how we sabotage ourselves. And it's oftentimes entirely subconscious. One way people sabotage themselves is by not even taking a chance on themselves. How can you succeed if you won't let yourself fail? Failure is the greatest teacher of all time. Failure is the greatest teacher of all time. Failure is the greatest teacher of all time. Failure is inverted success. As long as you keep trying, as long as you keep going, as long as you keep persistence at the forefront of your thinking, you are a success. The same thing comes to winning and learning. You're not a loser. You're not a failure. You are only these things if that's what you believe of yourself. And even then, that is not who you really are. It's what you're settling for. If you think that you're a failure, or if you think that you're a loser, you are settling for less. That is the lie. You are successful. You are successful. You are successful, and you are continued success. You're a winner. You're a dreamer. You're a lover. You're a creative. You're a fighter. You're a champion. You're a warrior. You are greatly needed in this world. That is what you are. And don't take my word for it. You are who you say you are. The power of I am are arguably, those two words are arguably the two strongest words ever. And like math, it's universal. It does not matter what language you speak. Whatever translation comes to I am, you are uttering the two most powerful words in all of human diction. It's just so funny how we say diction, which basically means a thesaurus of words. Dictionary. Diction. I've never heard no one make that correlation so plainly, so transparently, but it's an incisive approach, right? It's also kind of an inside joke. I digress. But anyways, I'd argue that persistence is something that all successful people have in common. Maybe you're not Mark Cuban successful, maybe you're not Oprah Winfrey successful, but you're you successful. You're Elizabeth Ivy successful. You're Denimi Queen successful. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name the wrong way. But you're a queen, you're a king, you're a boss. You're an entrepreneur, you know what you're doing. There is no one like you. I repeat, you're a boss. You are a boss. You're a king, you're a queen, you're the president of your life. You're sovereign and supreme of your kingdom. That is what you are. Even when you feel like you're at your lowest point, you are the mountaintop and beyond, and it is the climb, and it is one hell of a ride and experience. Just hold on, keep the faith, and keep reaching for the sky. And when people say the sky is the limit, what they're really saying, what they mean is there is no sky for your potential. The sky is just a dome, so to speak, in this case. Now, I could be wrong, but in my opinion, even though we see a sky, that is synthetic. There is no limit to your potential. It's just infinite potential that resides within and around. It's the great beyond. It's the interstellar you that no one wants to talk about or muse over. And the truth is, you do not fear failure nearly as much as you fear success. Deep down, you know how great, legendary, capable, special, unique, divine, powerful, intelligent, compassionate, and enlightened you really are. You're resilient. Persistence is going through the fire, being pressed like your life depends on it, and coming out as a diamond. I want to say a diamond of pure gold, but I don't think that makes sense logically. You are pure gold, and you're a diamond fresh out of the rough. If you're going through the rough, you are being purified. All of the impurities are being boiled. Imagine if you were stranded out in the middle of nowhere. You better boil that water so you can drink the most purified water there is that is readily available to you. And speaking of water, you are mostly water. I think that as a species, we're going more from a carbon-based species to a more crystalline-based species as we ascend from the third density to the fourth density, or from 3D reality to 5D reality. And as I've stated before, it's kind of hard to jump off the tracks when they're diverging, but it's never too late, no matter how far the tracks are. There's always light. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. And hope is not an illusion, but hopelessness is. There is hope. There is peace. There is joy. There is enlightenment. There is love. There is bliss. There is harmony. There is interconnectedness. Separation is the greatest illusion of all time. Interconnectedness is the strongest truth of timeless value. Sounds convenient, but it makes sense. Interconnectedness, unlike separation, has no time limit. It is a timeless constant. And it's not only great, but it's strong. It is of a higher vibrational frequency. And all that is of a higher all that is of a higher vibrational frequency is strong and fast, whereas a lower vibrational frequency is weak. It's negative, of course, and it's slow. If you ever notice that sometimes it seems like it takes forever to manifest something, it's the vibration of where you're coming from and what you're trying to manifest. If your vibration is too low, sure, you may be able to manifest it, but instead of taking 5 months, it could take 5 years. Or instead of taking 5 weeks, it could take 5 months. Instead of taking 5 days, it can take 5 weeks. Instead of taking 5 hours, it can take 5 days. Instead of taking 5 minutes, it could take 5 hours. Whatever the case may be. So it's important to know that if you raise your vibrational frequency, you will attract all that you are deserving of. And quite frankly, you deserve everything that you desire. But sometimes you do have to prove what you deserve. Life isn't a bed of roses. You have to fight for what you want. You have to believe that you have all that it takes to succeed because you are already successful. It's a matter of going back to your place of origin, or rather your state of awareness. You are of a higher vibrational frequency. We all are. It's a matter of embracing your heritage. Being high vibrational is your heritage. It is your divine right. It is your inherent power, and it's up to you to utilize it. It's up to you to take charge over your life and to claim your territory. Being high vibrational is your property. You own it. You are it. And you are being aligned with it. So try to let go of all fears of lack and limitation and embrace the vibration of prosperity, wealth, and abundance. Realize that the illusion makes you feel out of character. It is the least like yourself. Anytime you feel like you're out of alignment, that is not who you are. The real you is in alignment with your higher self. Is spiritually and otherwise illuminated, awakened, and enlightened. And as far out as some of the things that I'm saying sound, it makes sense when you think about how life has a funny way of shaking you awake when you least expect it and throwing a bucket of cold water on you, so to speak. It's the shock value that is synonymous to a reality check. And a reality check in itself is like a pimp slap. It's no different. This is no different than realizing you have all that it takes to forge your path and be a mastermind, an authority in your field. And I would recommend meditation. As a matter of fact, my new blog is about meditation. It's called mymiraclemeditations.com. Now, I recently just wrote an article about meditation for wealth and abundance. And what most people think is that wealth and abundance comes outside of you, but it comes from within. You are a treasure, a golden treasure waiting to be excavated. Excuse me. The money, the fame, the fortune, the wealth, the abundance, the prosperity, the endless great blessings, it comes within your heart. The power of the heart is thousands of times more powerful than that of the head. And when it comes to persistence, anybody can intellectualize themselves through a situation. But what matters most is when you have the heart, the guts, the drive to accept failure, to learn from life, and to invest in your greatest version. The investments you make today are the fortune that you earn tomorrow. I repeat, the investments you make today are the fortune or the fortunes that you earn tomorrow. So it all starts in the seeds that you are planting, the soil that you are planting it in. And even if you do not have the plant, you are in the process of planting all that you desire. The key word is plant, regardless if it's already planted or you're in the process of planting. Plant. You are planting persistence every time you invest in your higher self, you listen to your intuition and heart, and you realize that being all that you seek is the key to success. So I would like to remind you that you are love, you are wealth, you are abundance, you are happiness, you are great quality, exceptional health, you are peace, you are enlightenment, you are all that is high vibrational, you are the power of positivity, you are empowered, you are legendary. Everything you touch turns to gold. You are investing more than you are spending. You are doing things that greatly benefit you in the present, the future, and in retrospection in the past. You are persistent. You are resilient. You are brilliant. You are talented. You are intelligent. You are compassionate. You are making progress every day in every way. You are focusing on all that is working for you. And you are raising your vibrational frequency every day in every way. Again, persistence is the key to success in every attribute of your being. You deserve the fruits of your labor, or the vegetables of your labor, whatever you want it to be. Tomato, which is actually a fruit, by the way. You deserve to live and breathe the investments that you have planted yesterday, today, and tomorrow. But every day, in every way, I would like to recommend and encourage you to do at least one thing that helps you to envision your higher self with greater clarity. Do one thing that raises your vibrational frequency. Do one thing that challenges you to not only be aware of your limitations, but to push, shatter, and eradicate said limitations. Because any limitations that you have are self-imposed. It all begins with yourself. And even karma is self-karma more than anything. Everything is a reflection of you. So it is in your best interest to realize that if you are to persist, which you are, you have to be self motivated, self determined, self focused, self loved, self compassionate, self empathetic, and self persistent. And while it's important to, have some interpersonal dynamics, it's nice to work both in a group and individually. You have to be self reliant. You have to believe that you have all that it takes to succeed in life. You have to believe in the unseen. You have to have faith. Anything that is not growing is dead. The moment you deprive the notions of lack and limitation, it will die. The moment you stop watering the illusion, it will die. The moment you start watering the truth in great abundance, you will nourish it. You will cultivate it. You will be enriched by it, and you will be it. Everything is about being. But before you get to a state of being, check your thoughts, check your feelings, check your actions, check your beliefs, check your character, check your habits. Those aforementioned attributes will become your destiny, your fate. And the greatest attribute of this, of persistence, is that you always have the chance to check any potential and actual character flaws that have been holding you back. And while we don't always like to analyze and observe ourselves, we have to love it. We have to love the growth, development, love, and maturity that comes with getting raw, getting naked, getting vulnerable, exposing ourselves, at least in our presence, at our leisure, in a safe, open, non judgmentally accepting space. Persistence is not about the mountaintop. It's not about being the mountain. It's about being the climb, as Miley Cyrus puts it. I happened to come across her video on YouTube, which is interesting. But it's about the climb. That's what persistence is all about. You keep going, you keep plugging away, and you keep being new and improved heights. So just keep the faith, because there's always going to be another mountain. You're always going to want to make it move. But sometimes the less you try to fight the mountain, the less you try to make it move, the more the mountains will work in your favor. And whether your challenges are the size of a molehill or a valley or a mountaintop, you are stronger, greater, and better than your external circumstances. And that is what your internal condition entails. All that is stronger, greater, and better than your external circumstances. Indeed, persistence is the key to success in all attributes of your being when you allow yourself to be the most like yourself. When you have that willingness to be adaptable, vulnerable, naked, open, and transparent. When you can praise yourself and validate yourself and give yourself what you deserve. That in itself is a form of persisting. It's that persistent self-worth that will never leave nor forsake you. It's just a part of you. Persistence is not something you do. It's not something you think about. It's not something you feel. The big picture here is that persistence is you. That was going to be my title originally, but I feel like I was going to give my cliffhanger away. You are persistence. Persistence is a state of being. And more importantly, it is a state of willingness. And when you get to willingness, it allows you to be neutral. When you get to neutral, that is how you can effortlessly slide up the vibrational ladder. Persistence is all that is successful, wealthy, prosperous, abundant, healthy. You are love. You are light. You are joy. You are peace. You are bliss. And you are enlightenment. You are persistence at its purest, greatest, most refined. I love you all. Take care. Keep going. And realize that you are the embodiment, the incarnation, the sacred temple of persistence. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Share this video, the more the merrier. Inform all of your friends and family about mymiraclemeditations.com, my new blog, all on how to use effective, helpful meditation techniques to be your greatest version, and focus on your progress. Focus on how far you've come. And look forward to brighter, lighter, happier days on the other side as the grass is truly greener. To reiterate, persistence is the key to not only success, but being your personal best. It all comes from within. Competition comes from within. The battle comes from within. And while you must choose your battles wisely, part of winning the war is learning when to be a lover and when to fight for yourself. That's what persistence is all about. It's not just fighting, but it's the ability, it's the willingness to love yourself so much, to such an extent, that you are willing to fight for yourself. You are able to get rid of the self-sabotage, the negative internal self-dialogue and chatter, and all the influences that have caused you to perish in some way, shape, or form. Persistence is fighting for yourself. And when you fight for yourself, nothing can be against you. All the rest can help but line up for your favor. So fight for yourself. Fight for your health and well-being. Fight for everything that you are. And be it. Just be it. Just be persistence.